Perfect. I got your
Thank you.
presentation up and going. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Well, thank you. And Ariel, so we don't forget, we appreciate what you're doing on behalf of producers and companies and your commitment to the PIA. That's the only, I mean, it's the best distribution system going, and we get that. So thank you
I
for what
appreciate
you
it.
do. Started, just give a little history. Demotech got involved in Florida back in 1996. We were asked by the state of Florida, then Commissioner Tom Gallagher, we got the JUA, Joint Underwriting Association. We want to take out companies. We need somebody to rate these new companies. The other rating agencies were unwilling to do it. We stepped up. And so we were involved in Florida since about 1996. And then more recently, when you look at, say, 2016, 2017, there started to be articles about the residential property insurance market in Florida and the level of litigation. And I think one of the statistics that dominates the period prior to the most recent legislative reforms, that period from 2016 to 2022, the state of Florida represented about 8% of the homeowners' claims in the country, but yet it was probably 75% of the homeowners insurance litigation in the country. So it was disproportionate. They were 8% of the claims, but 75% of the litigation. And that was documented by the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation through NAIC data. And so when companies began in Florida, they knew there was going to be disproportionate levels of litigation. They built themselves that way. They had aggressive claims department, aggressive in the sense of making sure that they could get to the consumer as quickly as possible. But if there was litigation, they wanted to have a team in place. And despite the fact these companies were built knowing the litigation was coming, there was a series of insolvencies in 2021. And the names of those companies are up there on this screen. And the St. John's information that we present here is an example of what happened to each of those companies. St. John's commenced business in 2004. Demotech had rated them from 2004 to their demise. And every year we're looking at their reinsurance programs. We were looking at their litigation response. We were looking at their claims practices. And you can see that in 2016, and you can see that at the bottom of the screen, we did a postmortem after the company went under, and we looked at new litigation by year. 2016 was 180, 2017 was 569, 2018, 1,058, all the way up to over 3,500 new litigations. Those are new, not cumulative. And so even though the state of Florida was relatively stable in the level of disproportionality, 8% of claims, but 75% of litigation, these six companies had an incredible increase in the number of new litigation. And every one of these companies looked like this when we did our postmortem. We knew this had to be more than just billboards, radio, and TV. And we knew that there had to be something going on that was beyond the obvious. And so this claim frequency and the litigated claim frequency was just taking off like a rocket. Todd and I had met each other 10 or 12 years earlier. He's got a good background. Not only he's got exceptional background in technology and analytics and artificial intelligence, machine learning, but he's also done a lot of projects in the insurance industry. And that's how we met. And so I sent Todd an email and I'm like, Todd, these companies went under, they were litigated to death, yet they were built to withstand litigation. It's by a couple of rating agencies, including our own in Florida. The key thing from our perspective, and this is a phenomenon that we've literally just discovered last March, this tech-enabled claim instigation is a killer of small companies. And it's a killer of profitability for larger companies and a killer of contingent commission for agencies at larger companies. But this tech-enabled claims instigation is something that we're investigating, and I'm looking at ways to see how this can be something that companies, individual companies can respond to,
Mhm.
because it can be a killer. And I think that's the biggest reason. I don't think we've seen companies go under because they had inadequate reinsurance. That's been something that we've been very proud of. I'll even go back to like 03.